on second.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Happy
Hello.
Thursday morning. We are live. This is Indie Vote Breakfast Buzz. I am Varian Grant, and we're going to introduce ourselves when we come back because it's a rough morning. And we'll also have we'll also ask some questions, ask some serious talks, and try to get everyone's Thursday morning off to a good start. We'll try it. No promises. Here we go. I'm gonna roll the intro. Hello, everybody. Hello, my name is Varian Grant. I'm the founder of Indie Vote Media LLC. Been making comics since 2008, much to the detriment of others. And yeah, can't get rid of me now. It's too late. You give me everything. I'm joined as always by the beautiful indie princess. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing this morning?
I'm still trying to wake up, but I am here.
What time it is at your time zone?
It is 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
In the
it's
morning.
3 p.m. here. It's 3 p.m.
Okay.
Where are you at, Milan?
It's Budapest, Hungary.
Ah.
In Europe.
Yeah, we'll have to ask you about the Budapest mission. Have to ask you about it.
Yeah.
Have to ask you what happened over there.
I've still only seen half of the movie. I didn't have time for the other half yet.
It's funny, you know, like it's probably because they didn't. They probably I don't know if they filmed that part in actual Budapest, but I'm wondering if they did because, like, I hate when shows
here.
Did they?
Yes, it was filmed here. Most of the movie is filmed in Budapest. Yes.
Okay, good. Because I hate when I'm watching movies and they're like Detroit, Michigan. I'm like, no, that's not. I don't know any of those streets.
That's a cheap trick to film in another city or another country.
There's scenes in Titans where they're like Detroit, Michigan, and I'm like, okay, what is it? One of them says Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. I've been to Grand Rapids. That ain't it. And or my favorite, they'll show Michigan, or and there'll be big mountains in the back, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a mountain back there, but this is Michigan, not a problem. A snow-capped mountain to that, like, you know, you could have showed me a snow-capped hill. Yeah, it's Michigan. We got Dustin Brunell here with us. Dustin, introduce yourself.
How's it going, guys? My name is Dustin Brunell. I'm the writer and creator of a bunch of stuff. I started putting out professional.
Sorry, bunch of stuff. That's a really cool name. Sorry.
No, I writer and creator of The Listener, of Greed, of Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs, of next year's If It Hops, a bunch of crazy stuff. I've been selling comics professionally for about 15 years. I owned a brick and mortar for a few years. Right now, we've got an ongoing campaign for Greed issue 2.
Nice.
Okay. Milan, how about you, sir?
Hey guys, I'm Milan Kovacs from Hungary, like I said, and here is Robert Odagnall, who is the director of Shaman. Hi. He's just waving. Working on a YouTube something like a campaign, something like that, and we have this movie short called Shaman. How does it? How do I pronounce it? Shaman?
Yeah.
Shaman. Okay, so that's what it's called in English, and we have the really simple Kickstarter short link for the campaign, which is like www.shaman.movie. I think that's the short link.
Yeah.
So I'm the campaign director. He's the film director, and he also wrote the movie. He also wrote this graphic novel called The Developer, which was also made into a short film called The Developer. It's on YouTube for free, so you can watch it. And there's a bunch of other stuff I'm gonna show you, like something in the background. There's a prop from the movie because it's made with practical effects, which means we actually use real props for the movie, not just digital effects.
Very
No,
cool.
that's me. Sorry.
No problem. We'll take a look at that cool stuff. I like props, movie props. I mean, when they.
I'm gonna show you some.
David, how are you?
Good, good. Yo, yo, yo. So I'm David from Miami. I am a writer and creator for Limelight Comics, and my current series is Conquered Crowns, and previous series include the 11 Pates and the Captivating Light. So, and we currently have a campaign going on with the Conquered Crowns, which has like 7 days left, 6 days left, or something like
And
that.
I will take a look at that. It's going to be a good one. Ted.
Hey,
I got to tell you a funny story, Ted.
Go for it.
I think there's a guy who thinks I'm weird.
Who, me?
He probably thinks I'm weird because I thought he was you. And I'm staring at him at a Comic-Con and I'm like, is that Ted? And he's not looking at me, and I'm like, I'm eyeballing like a guy looks at a girl across the club, like, that's Ted. Why doesn't he have his books out? What? No. Like, why does he have all kids' books? What the hell? And I couldn't, and I'm trying to like make eye contact, but the guy won't look at me. He's shifting around. And I'm like, now I realize afterward it wasn't you. And I'm like, oh, I see weird now.
The guy who co-writes our first series of Pama with me, a longtime friend, over the years, we look more and more like each other. And when we're doing shows, sometimes people come up and just start continuing a conversation they had with me. And he's even behind the same booth. And he's like, dude, I'm going to wear a shirt that just says, I'm not Ted, So, yeah, it's one of those familiar faces, I guess. But as by way of introduction, I'm the president of Hero Tomorrow Comics. We do our first series was called Pama, the Undiscovered Animal. This is about an ice cream truck driver in Cleveland who unlocks the spirit force, the most savage beast mankind has never known. Then came Tap Dance Killer. This is about a mega talented actor, Nikki St. Clair. She gets cast in a horror show musical as that character, but then she can't shake the role and starts trying to wipe out the mafia. Then came Punchline in the Vaudevillains, and this is about a heavyweight boxer who debuted in Tap Dance Killer that becomes a superpowered murderous clown. Our new one is Bloom, the Origin of a Prophet, this psychedelic 60s tale. So everything we do is a shared universe. And the campaign ends on Halloween for Bloom.
And those characters will all come together to form someday. Some really twisted version of the event.
Yes, there's been crossovers already. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love the design of all those characters. And I got Ted had a movie done. The Palm was it Hero Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
And I got the Blu-ray because it was fancy. I'm like, ooh, Blu-ray? I'm taking this home, thank you. It feels good to see people putting out like Blu-rays. It's like we're not doing DVDs anymore. We're making Blu-rays. We're making,
Yeah, well, if anybody wants discs of any kind at all, I mean that's where we've gone with all this. But yeah,
I keep trying to talk Ted into letting me put Hero Tomorrow on Indie Vote TV. We'll work it out. Eventually, I'm gonna catch him at his lowest. And I, listen, it's how I got married. You sit back there and you watch and you wait. Who has got their ass kicked by life? This person right here. She's ready to come in from the cold. I'm just kidding.
That's funny.
Guys, I want to thank you for being here. I do got a question from Indie Vote Radio, and this came in last week, so we'll answer it today. And I think it's important that we do. This is from Doc Dame. Again, Doc Dame wrote into us before. Dr. Dame wants to know, how do you go about internally rating your comic book or production? Because I'm having a hard time doing that. The ratings seem all over the place, and there is no combined effort to help with clarity. Yeah, look, there's no comic book grading system anymore, thank God. And you just kind of got to use your brain. Is this something that you want your 10-year-old to read, your 5-year-old to read? That's how I look at it. And then because I'm a horrible writer, I tend to only write for myself, which is the most immature adult ever. So, we have to, I think you have to figure out what your story is and who it's going to be acceptable to. Because I got people who will come up to me at a show and say, oh, well, again, my kid watches whatever, so it's fine. I'll let him read this comic. My name, my company is Last Call Comics. He had a big beer mug on our logo. I had some little girls come up and ask me for we're giving away beads with charms on them. It says Last Call Comics. And I'm like, the little girls, can we have beads? And I'm like, oh no. Because you know what the beads are for. And I'm like, yeah, girls, go ahead. And I'm like, I'm corrupting the youth. These two little, blonde girls. I'm like, yeah, here. And then I'm like, wait. Go ask your mother if it's okay because it's got a beer on the back. And the mother comes over. Oh, yeah. You know what? Their school run was sponsored by Budweiser. It's fine. Jeez, and I'm like, oh, here. Okay. Take them. I don't care. Share them with your friends, kids. Last Call Comics. We don't sell beer. It's just, that's how it is. We sell comics and I make you want to drink. Dustin.
Yeah.
I guess I can point this question to you first.
Yeah, for sure.
You have had situations where you could not, as I'm understanding now, could not and would not do certain shows or put your content on certain shows because shows in different places online because you had not just a person, you had a familial connection to the story you were doing, and so you didn't want your product everywhere. That's what I'm led to understand. I can talk about that a bit and how because you have to rate your own book
for sure. So like when we put out The Listener, we weren't on a bunch of shows because it's going to sound strange to maybe it shouldn't, you know what I mean, but maybe it will. It was based off my Uncle Les, who passed last year. And so everything I put out, my grandma would watch, right? Mm-hmm. And my mother would watch. And it was like, man, look, I can't have my 90-year-old grandma seeing certain content. You know what I mean? Same thing with my books. They're like, to this day, I don't put any nudity or anything in The Listener, and I barely use any foul language in it because of the fact that in that time period, people didn't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a very, as gory as it is because it's because it is what it is, as gory as what it is. But there's a lot to it where I didn't want any kind of shenanigans with the book and with my family. You know what I mean? Now, when it came to putting out BGD, which is Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs, I was like, cool, look, my family could care less about that book. You know what I mean? It's not relevant to them whatsoever. So it's like, it's like if you're watching a movie with your parents and there's a nude scene in the movie, you're like, oh shit, him. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Yeah. Why is she wearing a rabbit? Where is that rabbit tail connected? I don't know, Mom. What is going on in this film we're watching right now? Why are you watching that film with your mom? That's the point is it's there are certain things that you'll put out in certain settings and certain things you won't. Right. You know what I mean? It's a very, I think it's also due to respect. If you're putting out a certain book to a certain group of people, you're trying to respect that group of people that you're putting the book out to. You know what I mean? That being said, if I was writing a book about the mob, there's so much language the mob uses that I wouldn't use. It wouldn't be great, So I highly suggest writing to the audience that you're looking to, and promoting to the audience that you're trying to sell to. You know what I mean? Because like BG, like The Listener, I let my daughter read it all day long. My 11-year-old can read The Listener because she watches horror movies. I mean, and that's our choice. I mean, whatever. I used to watch them as a kid. I don't let her watch modern horror. I let her watch old school. Like when we were younger, the worst you were getting was maybe one F-bomb in a movie that we watched.
Yeah.
Sadly, she'll hear that from me when I stub my toe or something here at my house, but it just comes to the point where you're like, what kind of content do we want to give? Is each person ingesting? If like with BGD, I put BGD out to anybody but younger folks. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that it's tough. I enjoy it, but it's that very adult book that I've been wanting to put out, and I did. You know what I mean? It's totally rad, right? So
because when you can't like promote certain places because of your rating, we got two guys who three guys here who've made movies, Ted and Milan and the gentleman behind them. They have to. There's certain ratings they say the box office poison.
Yeah,
the minute you slap an R on a comic book movie, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you've got rid of a whole bunch of your audience.
Absolutely.
My son loves scary movies, and I was thinking the other day, like, well, we normally do this thing where every October, like at once a week or maybe 2 times a week, we'll watch a scary movie right before he goes to bed because I just want to give him trauma.
Right.
And it was weird because I'm sitting there like, oh, I hope there's no sex in this movie.
Right.
But then it dawned on me, wait a minute. I'm worried about him seeing sex in a movie, but yet there's a guy walking around lopping people's heads off. And the sex is what I'm worried about. Like, that's what I got.
Yeah.
Like, it had to, like, even though it's, cartoony and, we watch Halloween Kills, and I'm like, okay.
Right.
We'll watch it, but I guess we'll walk our way around with that question. Milan, how do you guys rate a film? I know rating's a little bit different there in Hungary. How do you guys rate it and figure it out?
Rate a film like in age ratings or like in quality ratings?
Age ratings. Who's appropriate to see it?
Yeah, it's roughly the same because. I don't think we have as many as in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have like this PG or something like that. We have like age ratings like 14 plus, 16 plus, and 18 plus or something like that. And for animation and kids movies and stuff like that, I think 8 plus or something. Mm-hmm. And of course there is so-called thing called what's it called? Not recommended for any ages, like which was like that, I think, because it was more like a psycho horror movie, not like slasher horror. But I would say there was a Hostel or whatever it was called that was also not recommended for any ages. So but that's a rarity, of course, mostly for horror movies. But usually it's 8 plus, 14 plus, 16 plus, and 18 plus.
I have a really religious aunt, and she would always, oh, don't be bringing those R-rated movies over here to my house watching them. Like, okay. And I had my day, guys. I had my day when The Passion of the Christ come out, which has a big old R rating on it. And I'm like, what's this doing in your home? This is filth. This is an R rating. Look at it. What's it? Blood and gore and probably some language I can't understand. And I remember I used to say, and this is probably horrible, but between those, I don't know if you guys remember, but between I seen Passion of the Christ and one of the Kill Bill movies on the same day. And I realized that between those two movies, there probably was a fake blood shortage in Hollywood. There had to be, like,
Yeah.
you know, how many pints or how many gallons we can get on the Tarantino set? Oh, I can't send it because you know, Gibson just came and bought all of it. He's it's rough. David, how do you rate your books? I mean, is that something you look at and say, man, I wouldn't want 12-year-old me reading this?
It's funny that you say that because I don't have a rating on the Conquered Crowns book on the front of it, and I said I gotta add it now because it is. I just say an adult book because it has blood and stuff, and again, like you said, you go by what your standards are.
Mhm.
But when I told I think another parent that, they would say, "Oh, that's not bad. We thought you had like a bunch of sex in there." I was like, "No, it's blood chopping off heads and." It's an adult book. They was like, my kids can read that. So,
Yeah.
like you said, it's a personal thing, to be honest. And I still rate it as maybe like an 18 plus. But like you said, kids will still read it, and adults will still read it, and they'll still buy it for their kids.
Yeah, they will. They will. I mean, look, if kids want it, they're gonna get it.
Absolutely.
You know, so we should be so lucky that if a kid comes, a kid comes to me and wants my comic. First of all, I'm honored because he has so many different choices. So that's really cool when a kid wants a comic. Ted, what do you do to rate your books? What process do you use?
Well, we are distributed through Diamond, so we actually have to apply a rating when for the stores. And with the Palma, Tap Dance Killer, and Punchline and the Vaudevillains, I've kind of just I think we say young adult is sort of like, and when I'm on the show floor, I say PG-13. I basically tell people, look, if they're fine with the Marvel movies, when they're talking about something for their kid,
yeah,
they're going to be fine with these 3 titles. For Bloom, there is some nudity in it, but it's not like in any way like a overly sexualized book. Basically, it's a photo shoot where the model, our guy's painting these symbols all over this woman that he meets at a festival, and at one point she's like, I want you to paint all of me, and he paints all of her, and but it's done sort of like in a very artistic way, if I may say. So a lot of people who've read it thought the nudity was handled very tastefully, and there's a sex scene, but it's kind of implied. But that one would be rated R. And what's weird doing shows now, you get these, females come up to the booth with a mask on, and before I pitch Bloom, I'm like, how old are you? Because it's a weird thing to ask before you start pitching something, but
Absolutely.
I gotta do it because I don't want to. And I'm always surprised, because when you see somebody's eyes in a cosplay, you have no idea how old they are, and sometimes the person's like, I'm 30, I'm like, okay. Well,
now they're offended.
Yeah. But so, and with the movie, we, I know it would have been rated R. It had drug use, it had F-bombs. So I just tell people it's rated R, but we never actually went forward and got it rated.
Oh yeah, because that rating board is so much BS. Like I dealt with filmmaking early on before I decided just to focus on comics, and I learned it's easy to learn this stuff, but the film the motion pictures. The people who do the ratings, they you have to pay them. Is it 10% of your budget, I believe? So,
I don't think it's that much. No, I think it's just a flat fee.
Well, it's a flat. At the time, it was a flat fee if your budget was like under 1,000. And then now they're like, oh, we're gonna need. It's weird. They made a whole documentary about it. They're like secretive. You don't know who's on the board.
Right.
It's a whole. It's like they go into this building, and I can understand that. Like being anonymous because you don't be bothered. You don't want people because I guess I'll ask you guys, if someone said to you, hey, look, you're gonna be watching my movie today, and look, man, I know we got 8 F-bombs in there, but trust me, if you slap an R rating on this movie, it's gonna kill us at the box office. Could you just here's $2,000, could you just look the other way on one of those F-bombs and gives the PG-13 rating. I guess that's what they're trying to avoid happening.
For sure.
But like, I remember one of the filmmakers who submitted a film. He says, "I can't understand what they want me to change, because they give you like this weird, like, oh gosh, they give you this weird that sheet that says, too many cuss words. Well, which ones? Like, too much gore in a scene. Woman loses breast. Oh, okay, I know that scene, but no, man,
one of the most interesting things like that happened in the past little while was if you watch the Venom movie, the first Venom movie that came out a couple years back. Riot was killing people throughout the whole film, just messing folks up. Well, they changed the tint of the blood from red to green if you watch the film and how it was created, and it got them past the MPAA with that. You know what I mean? It's like the little nuances. Like when we were kids, you couldn't say shit on television. You know what I mean? And now you can get away with doing just about anything but dropping more than one F-bomb to get a PG-13 rating.
I remember that. I remember when they finally had a character, I think it was on Law and Order. It was going to be the first character on TV to say shit happens. And I remember sitting there watching this, like, it's probably how I started watching Law and Order, because the character was going to cuss on TV and say shit happens. And it was very casual. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, he said shit on TV. The paradigm shift. Have you felt it? Shit today. Fuck tomorrow. I do have a question for you guys. And everyone doing comics here. There's so many people kind of, they get in the industry and they figure, okay, well, how can I help the industry and help myself at the same time? So you got a lot of people who say, well, they become comic book printers. They've become, someone that helps you in the industry, not so much in the, like the creation of your comic, but they help you in the industry. You got people who manage campaigns now. You got companies, whole companies set up to manage campaigns. Why hasn't someone created a company to try to unify our rating system? And if they did do that, would you guys buy in to it? Like, oh, well, in order to get, our ratings are officially acknowledged by the, the Indie Comic Book Parenting Society. When you submit your book, it's $50 for a rating. Would you guys do something like that? Would you be okay? Oh, Lola's already shaking her head because she's cheap. Go ahead. Lola, you got something to say? Oh.
I think it's a stupid idea.
Damn.
I think that it's just, so I am very conscious about every dime that I spend, because all our books are done before we do any form of crowdfunding. You know what I mean? They're already paid for. So it's like, I'm always going, oh man, do we have this little extra to spend? Is it going to make a difference in what we do? But you look at something like that, and it seems like it's more of a label type of thing. Because my assumption would be a company like this was going to give you a stamp of some form that says, they approved it, approved by the fucking Midnight Society. You know what I mean? It becomes almost like a who's who. You know what I mean? Did you go get your shot? You know what I mean? Did you do this? You know what I mean? The what's relevant in comic books and in media today, we create that. I'm not trying to go down too far deep into that rabbit hole if you're not trying to go there, but that's what it is. Basically, you're saying $50 gives you a stamp. Who gives a shit about your stamp? You know what I mean? It's all about who cares. Is it relevant to this group of people or that group of people? You know what I mean? Is it relevant in this area? And I think that's where that whole leads to. Who is the one that you're like, again, who are you marketing toward? If you're marketing toward a group of people that is very behind that, almost tribalism. If you're marketing to that group of folks, yeah, sure, pay the $50. $50 is going to get you to sell 2 or 3 books, you know what I mean, which covers the cost. Yeah. So after that, you're like, whatever, it's all pure profit with that particular stamp on it. Now, if you don't give a shit, if you know your shit's going to sell regardless, and you have a dedicated fan base, and you already know as a person, as a human being, you know, we can use right from wrong as an example. If you know right from wrong, you know what I mean, you'll do this, you know. So it boils down to the fact is it relevant to you in sales, you know, because like you said earlier, Varian, you very well can say, hey, look, that's a rude thing to say to someone. Or you can be like, hey, that's not a very nice action to take toward a group of people. If you have these things in your book and you can be like, man, look, I wouldn't be allowed to say that in church or act out this kind of way in front of my mama, then you're probably looking at something that shouldn't be for kids. You know what I mean? And you can justify that. So to me, it's literally somebody going, hey, look, I want $50 for your hard-earned money. You know what I mean? I want it. You know, I just a slice of your pie for doing fuck nothing.
There are a lot of companies out there though who are you know, like they will do that. They will say,
I know.
We'll give you our stamp. I want to take a look real quick at one of the campaigns are going to be featuring. So I see Milan has one of his props in his hand. I want to take a look at this real quick. One of the books will be featuring or one of the movies. This is actually a short because remember, people forget that Indie Vote, we have movies too.
Right on.
This is Shaman. I'm gonna play the video here real quick.
Somewhere in Eastern Europe, sometime in the future, an odd couple, a petty thug who can burn images of the past and the future onto photo paper, and an enforcer who is the champion of ass-kicking. They hit the road together to save a girl. But how can anybody be saved in a city ruled by drugs, where everybody is past saving? The Blue Duck Arts presents an adventure unlike anything you've ever witnessed before. A whole new dimension and excitement and...
He's dead. They killed him. They killed the announcer guy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What a trailer.
$2,112. You passed your goal. 7 days to go left on Shaman. So this is short. And
it's like a 20, it's gonna be a 25 minute movie.
Okay.
In the end.
Is that the scene, the trailer we just seen? Are those scenes from the actual movie, or?
I think they were made for the trailer, but the stuff in the real movie is gonna look like something like that, as well.
It kind of had like a Sucker Punch vibe. I don't know if anybody else picked that up. It kind of reminded me of Zack Snyder in a way, and it was kind of cool.
Really? That's a compliment.
Yeah, it was something like Zack Snyder. How dare you? I used to make jokes that Michael Bay was the best director ever, and I remember in the '90s making jokes with my friend. I'm like, dude, could you imagine if Michael Bay directed a Transformers movie? And he laughed. He's like, could you imagine that camera going around Prime while he like sweats oil? And I'm like, yeah, that would be cool. Ooh, could you imagine if he did Ninja Turtles? And now here it is, 2021. I'm like, shit, I keep my big mouth shut. Because he did both of them. Well, he didn't do Turtles, but you know, his handprint was there.
Right.
But actually, the second Turtles movie, the new one, it would have been better if Michael Bay directed it, because it was like a freaking boring. The second one. The first one was so, but the second one was really, really bad and really boring. I almost fell asleep in the cinema.
I mean, those movies are. You get used to Michael Bay's directing just because how he is. Like, you know, like I like Bad Boys 3, but it was missing that absurdity of Michael Bay's directing. You know, it needed that. It needed explosions. It needed, a few more. Unreasonable explosions. You shot a bucket of ice cream. It explodes all over the place. It's great. Shaman here. Now you're. The movie's gonna be delivered digitally, correct? Or will you be sending out physical DVDs? I see you got free shipping.
There's no DVD option, but there will be screenings in Hungary, of course, in movie theaters. But we are still trying to contract for the international market, like US, Canada. We just had a meeting yesterday, a cyber meeting, of course, 21st century, with a possible production company from Canada. And we'll see how that works out, but it would be great to work internationally as well, and to screen the movie maybe in the US as well.
I see that Robert's standing in the middle of the miniature city. Now, Robert should be lucky that I'm not a kid anymore, because if I was, he'd find all that moved and me stand in the middle of his city. That city's now Gotham. And I got my Batman figure and they're swinging through. I used to build, I would really upset my mother. I would build mock cities in my bedroom, and I would go overboard like that. And she'd going, "What is this? Why is it smoggy in here?" He's like, "You know how many and she would get mad. Ooh, she got really upset with me. I'll tell you guys a story later. But anyway, I do I like the miniatures. I seen you had one in your hand. Could you put that on camera again?
I just brought this one here. This is in the trailer, actually, the car.
Right.
And sorry, it's just
yeah.
Like this. How can I turn them? And I can even turn it on somehow. Oh, okay. So it has some lights somewhere. Yeah. I don't know where. I can't see. But... Oh yeah, here. And on the back as well. But it's really hard to I'm too close to the camera.
Yeah.
But it looks really great. It's made by a professional prop making guy. And if you
is that a building behind you too? Is that
in the back?
Rob, the director, is helping me out to show you some of the props, the practical effects props. Mm-hmm. And this one like a junkyard with a lot of strange cars, and not even strange sports cars. Looks to me. So this is how the movie is made, and when the studio stuff is done, there will be the digital effects where it combines, the real persons who act, the actors. Sorry, I'm just a little bit trying to focus on two things at the same time. Mm-hmm. So they will do the acting on the green screen, and they'll be digitally added for the practical effects and the props to the props and the backgrounds. There's a background actually just behind me. It's just a little bit too dark, but if I turn this off, maybe it can be seen.
There we go. Yeah, look at that. See, I'm telling you, there's the 8-year-old in me right now is like that right there. There's your building. You can.
Yeah, he would say it's pretty cool, right?
yeah. I mean, there's half of the building. Your X-Men are gonna go, hide behind those cars while Sentinels are stomping the city. It's pretty cool, man. I like all this artwork from the movie. 20-minute sci-fi noir short film, and it looks really good. I mean, I like how you can put the composited in the actual actor into the model cars. It has a really unique look. There's a picture of Robert there getting the scene ready.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the same T-shirt now. Just
that was from today. That was this morning. You guys shot that. That looks cool. Any plans on? I seen that you mentioned comic books in the
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I did two previous campaigns on Kickstarter for my own comics, and this comic, this graphic novel, he's the developer, which is like a not exactly a prequel, but in the same universe as Shaman, and it will be published in English hopefully very soon. 2022 early 2022 or something like that, or with the movies premiere around August 2022, hopefully. And we'll see if we can team up with a comic book publisher in the US, because that's always a tricky thing to do. And from Budapest, Hungary, it's really hard to publish anything in the US without any help from a US publisher, sadly.
Yeah, it can be difficult. It looks. This is the art from it. It looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's how it looks in person as well. This is the actual book in Hungarian, and if I can open it on a page, and if it won't be too shiny, I can show you an actual page here. This is a
that looks good.
And this is written and drawn by Robbie as well, the director. So this is how it looks, and I think it's a pretty cool book, and it adds to this whole universe Robert is building with this movie, the previous movie, and the book, because the developer graphic novel and the developer short film are also not the same stories. So it's not like an adaptation. It's more like one is coming before and the other one is, I don't know, simultaneously happening, and Shaman is like what happens after. But he has this new graphic novel called, what's it called? The Darklands. It's called The Darklands. But first he said, I don't know what the title is. So The Darklands is going to be a to this graphic novel, but he already did like 15 pages, completed 15 pages. And it's going to be like a 30 page book or 40.
I like it. I think that it's one of those things that we're going to have to back again, Lola. Ugh, man. You know,
there's a lot of stuff on Kickstarter campaign.
It looks really cool. But guys, listen, everyone listening on Indievolt Radio right now, and I want to thank you guys. This morning we got 67,210 folks listening. So thank you. 212. I'm sorry, listening. Thank you. And this is Shaman. That's SHAMAN, a future noir short. Blade Runner meets Sin City. Free shipping worldwide. Check it out on Kickstarter. You got 7 days, guys. 7 days, and today is October 28th.
And the end of the world, and it's gonna be a post-apocalyptic. I always have a problem with this word. I really have to train myself. Apocalyptic world of Neo Budapest, Hungary.
Yeah, go over, check it out. The link is in the description of the video. If you can't find it on your own, go check it out. Go get the Indievolt YouTube, and we will follow up with this because I want to back it. I want to see. See what Milan and Robert have in store for us. That's a really cool project. Makes me feel small, man. I should have went into filmmaking. I went into comics because it was cheaper. I went into comics because it was cheaper. I thought comics are cheaper than filmmaking. It really wasn't. Here we got Bloom. We know whose book this is. This is from Ted Secor. Funded in 3 hours. He's way over his goal. He's got 3 days left, and he's showing off $11,331. Sir, why are you slumming it on Indievolt?
Man, I'm always happy to be on Indievolt. And I actually just backed Milan's. I bought a ticket for the opening. It looks really good, man. And I appreciate the hustle because that looks like a ton of work. Yeah, man, I'm happy to support you. Bloom. Well, I don't know. Do you want to start maybe with the trailer or?
Yep. Let me see here. Let me pull it up here. All right.
Woodstock, a time of peace, love, and music. But something else was tapping into the collective consciousness of the event. Something quite dark and disturbing, or something beautiful, something shocking between an artist and his muse. Bloom, the origin of a prophet. The soul-shattering conclusion is here. A photo shoot gone horribly wrong or wonderfully enlightening. You be the judge. Featuring covers by series artist Butch Mappa, psychedelic poster artist Simon Burns. Cover C is an homage to the great John Romita's Medusa Amazing Spider-Man 62 by Ron Friends and Chis Aresuenda. Photo cover number 4 featuring Alicia Lynn. Logoless by Gabriel Riarte. Homage to Marie Severin Submariner 16. Illustrated by Archie Comics legend Dan Parrott. Contemporary art sensation Jordan Wong. First ever comic cover, Manga Regina. And creator Ted Sikora's cover is printed on foil. But the character Regina made her first appearance in a modern tale, Apama number 5. Add the Apama run to your rewards and get both copies of Apama number 5. Alter your reality with Bloom.
I really have a. What'd you say, David?
No, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Ted's trailers because they're really cool. And then I realized, man, the trailer I was planning about to redo, like just because it doesn't hold up to that one. So it's like he does it really good. And you got the music too. The Bloom trailers are my favorite because they've always been like they got that music score and the voice. It's kind of grindhouse like.
Yeah,
for sure. It definitely has the grindhouse vibe.
You can get you can license tracks on pond5.com. I highly recommend it, and they've got thousands and thousands, and anything you could imagine, you can probably find something that's got the vibe.
Yeah, you got to license it, and then we've licensed a lot of songs here on Indie Vault, and you got to license it. And guys, when you license, remember, just because you license it, you have to get whitelisted sometimes through that company, or you're gonna have to show YouTube/Google that you do have the license. I've had to do that several times, pull up the license number just to get whitelisted, so they'll take down whatever copyright claim it is, because they don't know. So it's best to get whitelisted, because what will happen for anybody who has a YouTube channel, when you start getting monetized, they will take away make your money, because it's that music belongs to someone else. So all the income you'd be getting has been diverted to that person instead who owns that, until you can provide the licensing number. Oh, I do own this, or I do have the right own, but I do have the right to use this. I paid a licensing fee. And what'll generally happen is they'll say, oh, okay, we accept that. It could be 3-4 hours later. That's fine that you told us that now. What I've been told by a lot of people is that the money that you made before then, though, is still that person's. So they're not going to give you, because they don't know at that point when you got that license. So they determine it to be, okay, well, from this point on, you can get any income that comes in. But, when your video was hot for 5 hours and people were clicking on it, you're not getting any of that. That's going to the company who owns it. So try to get whitelisted before you post. It's going to be important for us going forward as creators, because we're going to have to make these trailers. We're going to have to make content that's going to be for other media. They get people to come pick the books up, or whatever other content is we're making. So tell us a bit about Bloom. You've been on the show before, so
for anyone who's not acclimated. Yeah. This is a kind of autobiographical story. So it is a 4-issue series, and this is now you can get the entire run on this current campaign. I was in the situation where I was creating a villain for Apama, and I had this idea that it would be this sort of hippie female, and a woman with, sort of glyphs and symbols all over her that were giving her gateways and insights into dimensional things. And I was shooting video of an event at Cleveland Public Theater, and I met a dancer who I thought had a perfect look for this character, and I asked her to do a photo shoot with me. And we were trying to get our schedules together, and we couldn't quite do it. And then this fictitious story popped into my head, like, what if we went into the woods and did this and got lost, and she started acting really strange once these things were on her, and tapping into something that that the creator doesn't realize is there. And so that's really what this story is about. It's but we go to the 60s, 1969. This struggling comic book creator meets a dancer, takes her into the woods, and she starts to break on through to the other side. And I really do feel this is, in a lot of ways, the best story I've ever done in comics. And it's going to be on the cover of Comic Shop News in the first week of November. They're putting the Ron Friends cover on. They contacted me about that, which, and this is like a one-man operation in Akron, Ohio, like to have the cover of Comic Shop News. In fact, this will be the second time because they put issue 1 on the cover also. So 2 out of the 4. They really like the book over there. And Apex Comics says he loves the door. Yeah, or here, loves the door. I do as well, clearly. And she even calls out Jim Morrison when she's talking in the book. Regina's like, I don't know if it's Jesus or Allah or Buddha or Jim Morrison, but I'm open to anything, which is why she's able to sort of just receive what's on her and take it to this whole other place.
For the art for this, you got there's the Comic Shop News cover right there, the most colorful Comic Shop News cover ever. And I'm always I keep hoping that you'll do like a blacklight poster.
Oh man, yeah, I would love to. And I started looking into it. This has been really hard, because we are trying to get our solicitations through Diamond. This is 4 Kickstarters in 1 year. I was determined to get all 4 of them out. But while the book is being solicited in the preview guide, we're also running a campaign and then trying to fulfill all that before that hits the shelves. And I'm really looking forward to December when this comes out, and then taking a little bit of a break because this has been nonstop. It's really just Butch Mappa who's doing the pencils and inks, and myself, because I also do the coloring and lettering on it. And that guy, if I could say something about that cover there, this is Simon Burnt, and he does psychedelic rock posters, so I asked him, I said, man, because of the vibe of this book, I'd love it if you would do a comic book cover. And he'd never done one, but he did it, and he obviously, I think, knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
If I could show you the first one he did, I have it right here because he did one for issue 3 as well. And I just freaking love it. It's just very different. And just trying to, push the look of what's going on a bit.
Yeah, it looks really good. And those blacklight posters, as I understand it, the technology to make them is very old, and therefore it's become a little bit more expensive now. Like, because they've fallen out of popular use. At one point you triple over blacklight posters, but now I guess a little bit it's expensive. So but I would love to see Bloom as a blacklight poster.
I would like to as well. And that's the homage to Amazing Spider-Man 62. And if I could say something about Amazing Spider-Man 62, I encourage anybody to do this. Okay, this is Amazing 62 that I'm holding up here. This is my spirit comic, and you're like, what's your spirit comic? Well, what was your favorite character growing up? And what was the book that came out the year and month of your birth? And this is it, man. And I was like, oh my God, is this perfect? We never did an homage cover before, but this is our first homage. And it even works with the name is Medusa. The name of the dame is Regina. And I got Ron Friends to do it. But yeah, man, I mean, go check out. You can find it pretty easily. You just look for like Marvel or DC Comics, month, year, and you'll see everything that they published, and on like a Google search.
Yeah,
and you just pick out your Spirit comic.
I believe mine a while ago when I did it. I think well, there's a couple things that came up, but for me, I think my Spirit comic ended up being V for Vendetta. Not that I had it because I was born in March '82, but I remember I think someone told me that came out in March. I'm like, really?
Wow.
Oh, that book had been that old. And it's V for Vendetta. My name is Varian. V. Hey, it works. I'll take it. I'll take it. There's a lot of weird coincidences with me in comics. It's my like and just pop culture. For example, the doctor who delivered me. There was two doctors, Dr. Charles Wright, which they've named a bunch of museums in Michigan after, and Doctor Who. You think I'm lying, but his name is Dr. Who, H-U. He was an Asian doctor, and and I was like, I remember asking, like, is that who or who? And he's like, it's who. Like, wow, I got delivered by Doctor Who. This is awesome. So yeah, this is a little weird pop culture thing. I was destined to be a nerd. You've got so much stuff here in this campaign. I love that picture there too. That's who's the artist on that one?
Gabriel Riarte.
Okay.
It's the first time I worked with him, and I just did a search for cover artists because we were doing I'd never done so many variant covers. Like each one of these had 6 to 8 covers. And I kind of really came around to it because I feel like people collect prints, but here you're getting a collectible book with a print in front, and I think it's kind of a neat thing. And we keep them, that's the guy who does Archie Comics.
Yeah.
Dan Parent. That one's not quite colored there, of course, but it's an homage to you can see it in the upper right corner, that Submariner. And the reason for that one also is that's a book that came out the month of Woodstock. So we looked at all the books that came out the month of Woodstock and thought, this one looks like we could do a cool homage with it. Like he's caught in this sort of psychedelic swamp.
That's cool. I like to see it. It looks really cool. Like being from the different styles, an Archie style versus that Marvel.
Right on.
That was cool. Worst photo shoot ever.
Can I say something about this one?
Sure.
So Jordan Wong, he's a contemporary artist. So he does installation arts, gigantic pieces all over, the region. He's never done a comic book cover either, but his stuff had this real psychedelic quality. I was at one of his openings and I said, man, I'd really like you to take a look at this book and think about doing a cover. And he said, what do you think about a manga Regina? And he told me about this idea, which I just loved. And what we're going to do, if you scroll up a little bit to see more of the character, I really want to do a story about this character in the future. Like how does she become this influenced character of Regina in China? And so this cover is actually her first appearance. So and there's limited to 500 on that one as well, and it's in the photo bouquet. So a lot of campaigns, there'll be like a $50 cover, $60 cover. Actually, you get all 8 of our covers, including this one, which I did myself. It's on foil. You get all 8 for like $65. And you can also just get any cover, any of those first 3 covers for, 12. But I just kind of want to make things affordable and get more people back in it.
I think all the covers, I'd have a hard time choosing. I'll just, like, you have to get them all because you have a hard time choosing which one you want. And you can give them away to friends and family too for Christmas.
Yeah,
hey, here you go. Which one do you like? Then they can go bother Ted at cons. Walk up to him. Could you sign this? Have you had to sign a book twice?
I feel like I have, and I can't remember the scenario. Maybe because I signed it and then I didn't realize it was signed like with an ink color that sort of blended in, and then I signed it again. But I don't know if anyone ever asked me to sign it twice.
I've had it happen. I had someone who bought a book online. They brought it to a show, and they asked me if I could sign it.
They wanted
but to them this time.
Oh, all right. Well, that's different. Yeah.
So I had to go above my previous signature and write it again. Thanks and with their name, and I was happy to do it. It was I'm never going to say, oh, I'm not signing that book. I was next to a guy who was like $5 on stuff for a signature. I was like, wow. I'll pay you $5 to take my signature. There's the Palm of the Undiscovered Animal right there. There's the cover for that. Some sample pages. And again, I love Apama. That's a good book. Yeah.
So this is our guy, our artist. He's going to the festival and really explaining his comic book to the annoyance of his fiancée there. But if you just scroll one more page, I should say, you'll see where he sees Regina for the first time. Almost, yeah, there she is. And it's like playing with a band that looks oddly like Led Zeppelin.
They can't be Led Zeppelin, though.
They couldn't possibly be.
No. Look at the art on this. The art on this is fantastic. I love it.
Oh, Butch is amazing. And 200 artists submitted for this, and I love the humanity of the characters. Like, you just feel these are real people. So many people want to overly sexualize Regina, and he made her feel like a real person. You just want to hang out with her, and that's everything. That's Joe Cocker, and those were from issue 1, because I didn't want a lot of spoilers posted for this campaign. So. But look at the detail of that crowd. Good Lord. I didn't expect them to do all that.
Yeah, that crowd would be I'm like, look, you want a big crowd? I'm gonna have to charge you $8 a person. Like the second there'd be a price breakdown. Like the first 5 rows, X amount. The next 5 rows, because when we start getting back here, it's gonna be less and less detail.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I start drawing friends' faces on characters. What I normally do. There you guys go. You and Butch.
Yep. And Butch, since we started this, he's taken on Star Wars for IDW, Avengers, Action Avengers. So it's been kind of touch and go with getting him available to finish this, but we're going to make it.
I know every time you're on, and we don't really talk about it, but I know every time you're on, we discuss like the Punchline stuff, and there's so many characters named Punchline and DC and what they did. And we won't talk about it, but it's just like you still got Punchline, so that's great.
Yeah. And ours was first, so we aren't in any trouble with that.
Yeah. Tell them to suck it, DC.
Suck it, DC.
I have to. It's really weird in my house. I have to be very careful because there are initials. My mother's name is Dorothy Cook, DC. She happens to be a big DC Comics fan too.
Oh.
So I used to walk around the house and just yell DC sucks.
Oh no.
And and so I'll call people by their initials, KG, Krista, my wife, it's come and go. Come and go. That's what the initials are, CG. So yeah, she has a come and go sweater on. But my son, his name is Caden Grant, and his initials are CG. So it's funny because I'll be talking, I'm like CG. Oh, like that's I have to reel myself back in because he'll go to school and I don't know. He's a weird kid. He'll get us in trouble. I got Bloom here with 3 days left to go. Guys, go over there. Oh, Ted, you're local to me. Seen you a few times at conventions. I previously worked with the Canada Bear guys.
Yeah, I remember them.
Now I have my own series. Good seeing you in China. That's Scott the Flock Wilson. He has a book called The Flock, which I have over here. Which I'm gonna bend over and get it. 1 second. If I fall, don't laugh, guys. I'm not on camera, and for good reason, because it's a rough morning. But here, I'll start the camera so you guys can see. There it is. There's the gorgeous looking book. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Look at that. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Free press for you, Scott. You're not on the show. But yeah, there's The Flock, which is a really cool book. Various Mom is a DC fan. I'm saying, yeah, she is. Yes, she is. She's a big Wonder Woman fan. So yeah, 3 days left to get over there and check out Bloom over on Kickstarter.
Could I say one more thing quick here? So what we did, if we break our record is 399 backers. Nice even number. If we get to 400 backers, everybody will get a bonus surprise comic with their rewards. So something from our past catalog. If you backed physically, you will actually get a physical surprise extra Hero Tomorrow Comics comic. Ooh. And if you back digitally, you'll get a bonus digital comic. Something to. And if we hit 12,000, we're going to add 8 pages of extra stuff.
Kara Nicole in the house says, hi, Ted.
Hello, Kara. Oh, hey, Kara. Yeah, Kara Nicole. We hung out at Steel City earlier this year.
Yeah. Kara's back to it. 100 comments in the chat.
Could somebody post a link, please?
Yeah, Jared Dinosaur hanging out, too. A link to the
campaign.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's in the chat already, but we'll make sure. So the end link will be in the description of the video as well. I have to add it because for some reason it did not go in there. We'll figure that out though.
If you just go to Kickstarter and type in Bloom, it'll come right up.
Bloom. He's gonna make his next. I'm trying to talk Ted and also licensing me this, and I'm bullshitting, but licensing me the Bloom license so I can make weed out of it. It'd be great.
You know what? Somebody just did. A blotter page of art from one of our images, LSD blotter art.
Huh? See,
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Oh man, it's perfectly fine.
There was just dead silence.
No. It's like what's. Let me see here. Oops, where in the hell are my files? Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm having a mental breakdown here. Slowly, it's coming. We're going to look at. I'm working backward here. There we go. The Conquered Crowns, Amazons by Limelight Comics. There we go. This is all David's fault. I like using. I've been on this whole new kick of using like words that don't necessarily sound flattering what they are. Like the credits, they're the blames. This is what we blame for this. This movie we just watched. So who's responsible for this? But this right here, I'm excited about this book. He's got these are all as I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, David, these are all princesses or queens, and they're gonna take up the sword now and defend themselves.
Correct. They are all princesses or queens in real life history, put on a Amazon team. And I took some cues from Game of Thrones and just kind of mixed it in with some Black Panther action and more like Dora Milaje action. And the Conquered Crowns is more so the title, and Amazon is just one of the series, and it focuses on these 7 women retrieving their chief of their village that was exiled for not paying homage to an inferior, a more prosperous kingdom, I should say. And they only come from a village. So they're on this quest to retrieve him, to restore honor and to restore their village back, to not be taken over and conquered and sold, or whatever may happen to them. So
that's what you hear. Let me play the video. There we go. Let's see here. Make sure I got the sound on. There we go. I like it. Now that's cool because you got I do like the fact that the Wonder Woman music came in there at the end. The we had a joke about that a while ago when Wonder Woman 84 came in. Every time she was on screen, they played that song. Like, and so like, oh no, it wasn't. It was that was Snyder cut. Every time she would be on screen, they play that, and it's like, Wonder Woman's coming. That should have been her on your left. That should have been
right.
Digging the music of the video. Yeah, Sarah, it's. And I gotta tell you something. I got a problem, David. I'm gonna get this book, and I'm gonna have problems because there's a page there where they're all sitting around the fire, and she's roasting. The girl is roasting meat, and the girl that's roasting the meat, for some reason, my eye keeps getting drawn to her because it's like she's hot, and I'm like, yeah, that's the pose. That's what I'm talking about. It's weird. I don't know why I do that in comics. Like Dreaded Dinosaur, Eric Hodson has a page where he has these people standing around, and there's this one character he drew, and this is not like Eric to do this. The ass on this character, the female character, is like, whoa. And I'm not the biggest pervert. I'm not an ass man, but I'm like, I like that shape. She's built for a cartoon character. I jump in the cartoon world and I'd smash. People were like, Varian just admitted to smashing cartoon. Yes, I did. She was hot, and the girl cooking the meat there was hot too. Anyway,
don't feel bad. You're in good company. I got tattoos of Jessica Rabbit on me, so
see, yeah, there's. We've all got these little small issues that
I embrace them. So whatever's good.
Yeah.
Now you got 7 days to go. You're over your campaign goal. David can always get more though. I mean, we want to put this book as many hands we possibly can. Only Varian.
Yeah. Overall, I was aiming for 2,700, but the 2,700 would just allow me to get it done quicker.
So, well, I'm glad that you set your
yeah.
campaign goal at a modest amount. $500 is really modest, but it helped you get that win and get over that hump. 2,700 is what you need, though. Let's see.
I would like, yeah. Like I said, the artist, he's doing an excellent job. We're still working on some pages. We have 6 pages done, and the colorist as well. The artist, Mauricio Alvarez, out of Mexico, he's doing a wonderful job. He blew me away. He did a test sample of what you just passed up, where it said story. That was his first test sample.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm looking for this, and this, and he did it, and he just blew me away. And I said, just don't do no more test samples. Let's get the story started. Let's go. He said, I got the job. I said, yes. Here's the script. What do we need to do next? And it's always amazing. Because the team is worldwide. My letterer, Alf Collins, is in South Africa. My colorist is in the Philippines. And he goes by August Ryder. And
there she is. There's my cartoon bae. Look at her, howling at meat. Anyway, I'm gonna get an angry letter. How dare you objectify these African queens? Like they're cartoon characters. What's wrong with you people? They're real people, but not on the page. Whatever. Anyway, I love the art. Attention to detail too in the backgrounds. Like with the way the water. I was shown how to do that effect with regular ink, and I'm like, oh, okay, and you can watch someone do something, and then when you go home and try it, it's a complete mess. So, but I seen a guy do it, and I'm like, man, yeah, that seems easy. It's not easy. And Jim Lee makes it look really easy too with his, like, I don't know if you guys have seen what Jim does. He basically started inking with Kleenex.
Wow.
It's if you watch any of his drawing videos, it's this weird thing. He'll put ink on Kleenex and rub it across the page to get this like feathering and faded effect. It's really cool. If you get a chance to watch any of Jim Lee's drawing videos, I recommend it. Just one or two.
Right.
If you got nothing to
Pull
do.
that up to watch later.
Again, I like this page too. The panel breakdown. It brings in the urgency of what's going on. I'll be stealing that page design, by the way, David. Just so you know, stealing this page. I'm serious. I'm stealing it because that's too good. I may flip it. No, I won't, because if I flip it, it won't read right. But yeah. So when you see it in my book,
now I'm still learning comics because like I said, I'm coming from being a math teacher and so sometimes I just design things and the artists say I don't think that it doesn't quite flow. But this page I did correctly, so it flowed well. So far as design wise, yeah. I do look at a lot of other people's comics just to get ideas, and I'm like, oh well, that effect was cool, the panel inside a panel, and so I said I'm gonna do a panel inside a panel inside a panel, and
that looks cool, and I'm stealing it. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting everyone know here right now. I'm stealing that page design. It's coming home with me. David's gonna see it and be like, son of a, yeah, that's right. Lots of we talked about ratings earlier, David. I know there's blood in here, like you said, and I think I told you last time you were on here. I would like to even see a black and white version of the book, because even the black and white art is, pretty cool looking.
I might do like a manga size black and white. Well, I don't have enough pages to do that stuff now.
What's really cool is, and I'll say this as somebody that's been in comics for a long time, there's your colorist is spot on, dude. Like spot on. Because in comic books, you'll find a lot of people that can't color African American characters. So when you start seeing people that are actually in there like banging out like really good looking colors, dude, it's super solid. Congratulations on that. It's a beautiful book.
I had a friend of mine. He reached out about 3 years ago. He says, "Can I call you?" He's a white guy. I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And he calls me. He says, "Hey, look, man, I'm coloring this book for this company. It's got a black guy, and he gets attacked in the bathroom, in the shower. All he's got is a robe on." And he said, and he jumps out the window to escape these guys. He beats these guys up, but there's more coming, so he doesn't want to escape. He says, and the problem is, like, it's a shot looking up at him as he's falling toward the camera. He says, and I think David knows where we're going with this. He says, and I have to he's barefoot, and he's, his palms are showing. He says, you guys, and he didn't know how to put it. He's like, you guys have different color hands on the other side. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so how do I color that? And I'm like, just make it all brown. And he's like, what? And I'm like, but then I talked to another black creator who didn't like that. He said he got his colors back, and the guy just made everybody, like every black person, like brown all over, like their hands were. And he's like, that's not how we are. And if your colors can't figure that out, then they're not a good colorist. And I'm like, I don't know if I need that in my comic book. Like, it could be distracting if not done well. I mean, it is. I don't know. Where do you fall on that, David? Is it something that you care about, or are they making a big deal about nothing?
I guess it would be a little weird seeing that. Like you said, if it was the hands were all brown, and even in the inside, I think it's just because you're not used to seeing that.
Yeah.
So I think it would look weird right off the bat. Maybe you might think it's like an alien species or something.
It's like it's just weird. Like you have to, and so I was bringing it to Justin's point, which is that you found a colorist who understands those nuances and gets in there and does a good job of it. But I'm not a colorist. I suck at coloring, except for crayons. Crayons I'm okay with.
It's beautiful though, man. I mean, you look at the different nuances of the color work that he's done. It's a beautiful book. Like right on.
And all these characters have different personalities. You can tell like in their, just like in their bios here. Inspired by Queen Nefertiti. Femi. It's a tracker. We got the trainer, which is Masika. Am I pronouncing that correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay. Makita, spiritualist. Mm-hmm. There's Bay. The architect. That's right. And she's inspired by Queen Nandi, which is you know. I look. I know she's inspired by Queen Nandi, but like you gotta look this right here. This is hotness. This is hotness. David, this needs to be a movie at some point.
Well, actually, this was written to be a movie, and I said, well, I don't have movie money, so I sent it to a few management studios.
Mm-hmm.
One of them got back to me. The idea could be stolen. I don't know, but they said they liked it. And then when I sent them the script, like I said, I'm still learning how to really write. And so I sent them maybe like a 20-page script. And, you know, I'm in some screenwriting groups. And so one of the ladies helped me. She went back, revised some things, and said, they're only really going to pay attention to the first 10 pages. And if you don't grab them within that first 10 pages, then you lost them. So I had focused on the first 10 and revamped it, and I was like, well, there's some action in it, there's some talking. And they said they felt it wasn't enough there. So I said, okay. A comic it is then.
Okay. Well, it looks good, in my opinion. I think we've backed this already. I will check with Lola though. If we haven't, we will be. Looks really good. I'm excited for it. That is Conquered Crowns over on Conquered Crowns Amazon's over on Kickstarter.
Ooh, we finally broke the 1,000 mark.
Oh, yeah, right here on Indie Vote. Look at that Indie Vote bump. Sorry. I can't say Indie Vote bump without snorting. Someone made a joke about bumps, and I was like, hey, that's a Coke reference. Because you know, you guys gotta understand, I'm the most vanilla person ever. Like I don't have many vices. So I'm like, oh, I could pretend to be a cokehead. That'd be great. People are in the chat. Says even comment sent you the web link on Insta if you at least want to see what it's about. Finnair. Okay. If Varian could pull a comic or cartoon character in the reality like in a movie cool world, he would. Just saying, Psylocke would have been out of the X-Men comics long ago. 13-year-old Varian knew what he liked. He liked what he saw. Like, excuse me, Psylocke, you don't need to be in the X-Men books anymore. You can stay home with me. Yeah, it's cool. You know, you're 13.
Looks amazing, David. I'm in. I backed, and thank you for backing mine.
Thank you.
This is Conquered Crowns Amazon's over on Kickstarter. You guys got 7 days left to go. I'll go over and pick that up immediately. I've ordered it, so oops, let me see here. Now, guys, before we move on to the next campaign, I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that we have been doing something new here on IndieVolt. It's been called we've called it Comic Con. Did you guys get a chance to see that last week? All on Tuesday?
No.
Well, Comic Con is I'm sure you guys have those. I've seen those shows where I have those like radio shows where people get conned. They'll call and do a spam call or a fake call. It's a great crank yankers. And I decided to do it to comic book professionals. So I call with something completely absurd and catch them off guard. Well, I also believe before you play a prank on anybody, you need to do it to yourself or to someone else closer to you. So I turned it inward on my own company. And I reached out to our host, host of IndieVolt's Pitches Be Crazy show, Brandon Cleckley. And I told Brandon that he had been asked to come to a Comic-Con that is not, it doesn't pass a sniff test. And I'm gonna play the audio for you guys right now. This is called Comic Con. We're gonna probably do it every Thursday morning, and it'll be on YouTube, so you guys can always go look them up and listen. Here it is.
Hello? Hey, can you hear me? Sorry about that. I was trying to talk and I noticed my phone wasn't working. Hey, quick question. What's up? Yeah. Quick question for you. I got there's a reverb in the background. You got me on speakerphone?
Yeah, I got you on the Bluetooth. You need me to take it off?
Yeah, it's not like it's reverbing. I'm sorry.
That's okay. 1 second.
Don't worry, folks. It gets better. You
can hear me now?
Much better. Thanks. Sorry. So here's the thing. I got an email from a company and over my con, and they would like us out there as special guests. Okay. He gives the requested you specifically. So it's a 1 day show next weekend. So the first weekend of November, 1 day show. It's called the Rebel Knights of the White Camellia Con. Well, formerly Rebel Knights of the White Camellia. Now it's called Clan Con or something like that. But they want you out there for a couple of special panels.
The former Rebel Knights of White. What?
The con is called the Rebel Knights of the White Camellia.
And
flowers.
And
that was the former name. Now it's known as Clan Con.
Clan Con.
Yeah.
And where will this Clan Con be taking place?
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky. I figure a couple hours drive. Could send somebody down there with you or something.
You may have to send a couple people, but I really want you to think about this. A con called Clan Con. Kentucky.
Yeah, it's kind of probably listen. It's probably a bunch of like D&D guys or Warcraft. You build your clans and you go after. You go raid type of stuff. And they want to. I think it'd be great to have indie book presence there. They're going to treat you real good. You're an invited guest. I think we should do it. We got to respond very quickly, so we let them know you're coming. It kind of seems like you being there kind of hinges on the whole thing. Honestly, they really, really want you there.
Well, before I even who else is going to be there?
They just asked for you, so I'm going to have to buy a badge for everyone else. I was thinking maybe you could take Rebecca down with you.
What you want me to take Rebecca to Clan Con in Kentucky?
Hey.
Yeah, what's wrong? I don't understand why you keep repeating it. Yes. What's wrong with
you? You see nothing wrong with this?
No.
Clan Con in Kentucky.
If
I go down there, my black ass ain't coming back.
Oh, come now, Brandon.
So I got a question for you guys.
You're living in 1994.
I got a question for you guys.
Come on, man.
You, Brandon's obviously shocked that I would send him to a place called Clan Con. And I wouldn't send him there, obviously. It was a big deal. But I do like the premise of doing the Comic Con. I think that guys, watch out. You get a strange call about a comic convention. Something totally not even a comic convention, just something totally out the way. I got one I won't tell you who I got because I'm waiting for them to give me permission to air it. But I called someone who was printing a book and I told them, I said, hey, listen, here's the problem with your book. We printed it, but some pages came out upside down, other ones didn't. And we were wondering if you could send us a new cover that says Twirl-O-Vision on your book, because it would just turn your book. And because we're not reprinting it, we're keeping your money and we're not reprinting it. And this person was very upset with me, and they kept cussing me out like I thought I was the printer. And when I started laughing at them at the end of that video, I tell Brandon what I'm doing, and he laughs too. This person, they laughed, but they said you can't air it not until I have a couple drinks and think about it and determine if we're still friends or not. So, so guys, if you ever get any strange calls at Comic-Con about anything comic related, think in the back of your head: is this Varian? Is it playing? Because I can. Right. I can. It's great stuff. I love doing Comic-Con. I think it's funny. I think it's just another fun thing to do here on the show. Where are my tabs, Lola? They are not here. There they go. She's like, I don't know. She doesn't know. She's just leaving me in the dark. Okay, here we go. Let's bring up. Okay, so this is Greed 2, the Midnight Snack. The return of Cade Nas in the second issue of Greed. More adventures and tales of horror featuring things that bump in the night. Sorry. $2,506, a $1,500 goal. You got 9 days left to go on this campaign. All the campaigns are ending pretty soon, pretty close to each other, which means you guys all launched close to each other.
Yeah, we only did 3 weeks this time, so it was very, very different.
Did you find that more successful, like doing the 3 weeks or shorter time?
I don't think there was a difference, to be honest. A lot of people think that it adds urgency to it, but it also gets you kind of out of that slump. I think every campaign hits a slump near the middle, just about. I mean, my last campaign is a bigger seller for us. Our book BGD is a bigger seller than our other books, but it's yeah, I think that I really don't think it makes a difference other than cutting out the slump. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get the email that says, "Hey, look, you've only got X amount of days to back it." Most folks that are going to back in the beginning and the end. So if you cut out time, I mean, it all depends. Like I said earlier, if you're doing the book, if you've got the book done, you know what I mean, before you go to the Kickstarter, which is what we do. It's not really. I don't know. It's less stressful, I think, to do it shorter, because you're like, okay, cool. Well, because I do a book every other month, so it's literally like you have more time to work on your next project, so it's less stress on you as a person. And then Kickstarter only lets you put out a book after you've been paid for the previous one. So it's like, okay, well, you get 2 weeks after the campaign to pay me. You know, and I'm already working on the next project, but I can't put the next project up until I receive the funds. Some people can't even put their next project up until they show proof of people receiving their last project. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm pretty quick about getting my stuff out. Like I said, it's done. Our books are generally done, with the exception of BGD. It wasn't done because that was we hadn't planned on putting it out so early, but the time period, it was a good time to put that particular book out. So, but yeah.
I see that I was looking at this cover. I said, oh, before I seen the name, I said, oh, someone channel C. Michael here. Then I realized it is C. Michael.
Right.
We got that one.
Is that the one we got? Okay.
Right. Yep. It's a fun one, right? He had a lot of fun with that. He's a great dude.
All right. There's a C. Michael Lanning. He's probably the one that I know that he got a lot of covers. He got Steph Wilson. April's on the cover.
Yep.
David Thought.
You're seeing a lot, like most of our books, you'll notice it's fun is we don't consider our teammates as contractors. So you'll see that they're teammates to us, and you'll see them on multiple IPs that we do. Like if you're an April fan, you'll see her on almost every book we put out. Same thing with Steph Wilson, so on and so forth. You know, you'll see those folks running around with our books. And you mentioned Blacklight a minute ago. If you scroll up, there's a Blacklight variant that April Reyna did right there.
Okay.
It came out a lot of fun. It was a really, really beautiful piece, because in our world we have Greed is a spinoff of The Listener, and we have 2 worlds. We have the living, and then we have the other side where gods, demons, theological beings exist. And if you scroll up just a little bit, you can see April's living realm version versus her other side version of that cover. And a lot of fun things about variants is they're normally just slightly different. That cover is entirely different. The character standing in a different position. The horses on the carousel are completely redone. Just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Again, the David Thought cover here. I'm a man. I'm a sucker for a woman in the miniskirt, though. So,
this first appearance of Lilith. Justin Hunt's covered by Lilith as well. This is the first time she's been on an interior. She was actually on a cover for the last issue of The Listener. Marissa Pope is doing villain covers for us, because these 2 worlds intersect. So she's doing villain covers for both these books, which are a lot of fun. We love being able to move people around and show different characters. In issue 3, you'll see characters from The Listener inside of Greed in the book. So there's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's cool. You know, I got a character. I got a book I've been working on for a while, and it's got a lot of characters that some are from the Bible, some are from mythological like stories. And
right on.
Got I didn't want to name her Lilith.
Right.
I wanted to figure out another name for. And I went around and around with names. They started to sound like Power Ranger villains after a while.
Right.
And I finally figured, I said, you know what? I was in Walgreens, and there was a guy calling his daughter, and he called her Lilin. And I'm like, that's it.
There you
I'm
go.
not gonna name her Lilith. I'll
Right
name her
on.
Lilin. And
I'm with you.
Yeah. And so
And she looks like me.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's so much fun.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a lot of pressure when we started putting out the listener to bring these characters to life, and in turn, in Greed, to bring these characters to life in a way that they were different enough to be different from anyone that had ever written them, and they've been written a lot, so it was like change them just enough to make them stand out in our world versus other people's, but also keep them, very true to their theological and mythological backgrounds. Like we joke about our book being one of the only our books being one of the only places where you could find Christ playing chess with Odin. You know what I mean? It's a very in our world, all the theologies exist. All the belief systems exist. So it's like, and they have quote unquote strength and power levels based on believers and faith. So the Christian faith, you have a lot of very powerful characters in it and stuff. And this issue, we're introduced to Lilith, who's been kicked out of hell because, Lucifer caught her canoodling with Hades. So she's been banished.
Got to go. She's got to go.
So she is my Eric Northman, if any of you guys are fans. So
it's okay. I can't believe you. I turned my back, and there you are over there with Hades.
Yeah, well, because Helheim and Hell both exist in our book, and they're places you can see physically on the other side, just like Valhalla or heaven. They're places you can actually find. Like if you were to go to New York, you could take the Bifrost from Valhalla all the way over to Italy, where heaven is in our world. So they're physical places, which is a lot of fun for us. And in Greed, you've got a 10-year-old kid that's met his monster under the bed, who's pulled him into this world of monsters, gods, demons, and what have you.
That's cool. And I'm looking at the campaign here. I got the campaign open on another page so I can look through it.
Yeah.
The April Random covers, you got a trio, $45 for those. Playdate collection. You can get cover A, B, C, E, and G. Now you are shipping these. Are you shipping these worldwide or?
Absolutely, worldwide for sure.
Okay.
I absolutely hate having to charge $25 for worldwide shipping, but I pay more than that to ship to Germany and to the
Australia.
UK and whatnot. Australia. Oh my God. We sent 2 books. Well, before the ban, I don't know if that's been lifted. I have to check next week when we go to the post office.
It's supposed to be lifted in November.
Awesome. I'm excited about that. The last time that we shipped to Australia 2 books, it was almost $60 and it was regular shipping. So I hate having to tack those prices on there, but I also want to make sure that we can get the books out to people worldwide. It's important to think globally and not secularly. I really want to get those out there. We did just unlock last night. We unlocked the Lay Chalker mini print. Really stoked about that too. It's really good. And all of our physical books come with a digital copy.
That's cool. They're not safe for work. The full buffet.
Yeah. The full buffet is fun.
Is that Michael Lanninger on the shirt there?
No, that is Manny Soto. That image came from the first book. It was actually, when you're doing character designs and you're putting these characters together, that was the first one that he and I agreed upon, that very image. So we brought it onto the t-shirt because it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. I seen the shirts up there, and I'm like, and I seen that David had shirts as well. Guys, I have to wear black shirts. I can't wear light colors. Come on, what's going on?
Oh yeah, the cool thing about the shirts is you just have to tell me what color you want. So, and that's in the surveys if you get that particular tier.
Yeah. What do you say, David? I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, I just said, I'm gonna take a look at mine now.
Well, the thing is,
sorry, I did not get a shirt.
Well, the thing is, I I do this thing where, like, well, you guys know I have an illness and I randomly bleed.
Right.
And so for me, it's much better to have darker color shirts because otherwise it shows up.
For sure.
You know, like people are like, ew, why are you, what's that coming out of you? What's that strange substance on your shirt? Did you spill macaroni all on yourself, or did you eat spaghetti? No. I'm bleeding. But yeah, so I like dark color shirts, which is why I normally wear dark color shirts. Sorry to gross everyone out.
No. That's what it is, man.
Yeah. Let me I'll play the video for this one. I didn't play the video, and then we'll Okay. I seen the corner video was done by the ladies over at Raging.
Great folks. Oh, the M&N connection, great folks.
It's Agreed to Midnight Snack is available over on Kickstarter, folks. $2,506. It's way over its goal, so it's funded. It's gonna come out. You got 9 days left to get your copy of Agreed to over on Kickstarter from Dustin.
Yes, sir.
The link will be in the description of the video if you can't find it. Greed, GREED, the number 2 Midnight Snack. That's coming very, very soon. Yeah. Also, listen, if you're shipping books out anywhere, all these guys here, make sure that you're using Gemini mailers. It's the only way to almost guarantee that your book gets there in good condition. And while you're doing that, make sure you use the discount code VOLT10, VOLT10. That's VOLT10 for a 10% discount on your Gemini mailers. Also, because we've been doing this, and I want to make sure that everyone gets an opportunity. We've given away a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff here on Indie Vault lately. I wanted to also make sure that you guys know we got one-time codes. So basically, put a code up, and you got first come, first serve to go use it. So let us know if you have any luck, if you're the person who claims it. But if you're trying to print comics, you've got a couple days to do it. You got a lot of time to do it now. But Mix 'em, one of our sponsors for Indie Vote here, they've given us a code to get you $10 off when you spend $100 on comic book products and booklets only through Mix 'em, a fine printing company for comics. Coupon code 46V as in Varian, B4IRL. That's 46V as in Varian, B as in boy, 4IRL. Save yourself $10 on your $100 order at Mix 'em, the smart way to print. Go check them out.
Right on.
Yeah, so first come, first serve with those codes. So if you go there and it's been used, sorry, somebody got it before you. We'll have a new stack of codes next week. We're gonna be giving them out. I think they gave us like 80 of them. It's great. So we're gonna be giving those codes out to friends and people on the show who come on, might need a little, hey, we can all save some money, which is why we're doing that here on Indie Vault.
I'll say this: I use the shit out of that Gemini code once a month.
They've been in contact. They told me, hey, people are using it. We're happy about that. So,
like once a month, man. I need 400 more Geminis. Yeah. Oof. $40 off, I will take that.
They probably secretly hate me. They're like, oh, this guy, he's using the code. Everyone's using the code. Let me pay some bills here real quick, guys, before we get out of here. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. There we go.
Come on to the Geekatron. It's the place where all geeks will feel at home. Yeah, RPGs, card games, and nerd culture. Comic books, geek lights, and tote coasters. And if you're up late at night, then watch out, you might get the bite of a zombie, right? Roll dice for the best D&T merchandise. It's the place to find something you searched all your life. Say, get into the Geekatron. 534 Brookline Boulevard, come on. Say, get into the Geekatron.
Geekadrone Comics, a very indie-friendly comic store over in Pittsburgh, ran by Paul Drabick. He was an awesome guy. When the shutdown happened, Paul was actually Ubering comics to people. That wasn't Ubering, like people would call a store, hey, I want this book, this book, this book. He was driving his pool list people their books.
That's dope.
If I could give an award out for, and I think maybe next year we will, for comic shop owners, Paul would get it, because that was going above and beyond for our industry. They give people their books. That was really cool.
I want that kitty. It's so pretty.
She just popped up.
This kitty? You meant you meant that kid. Okay.
That's Rosie.
Aw.
She's adorable. This is the oh my gosh, what are they called? The postcards came in the other day.
I saw your post on it.
Yeah,
Those look awesome.
So this is actually yours.
Okay.
And I was working on it this morning because I knew he had a show. I'm not going to show you what it says yet, but it goes along the lines of, if you're going to leave a tip, and you guys will get to see the rest of that very shortly, I'm sure.
That is the second time that I've seen Steph Wilson in the same amount of days draw a fully clothed character. Someone tell Steph I'm concerned.
It's funny because when we did the postcards, it was just like, when you get to our books, the BGD books, there was just as many nude covers as there were clothed covers. So it was like, man, look, I'm going to go different, and we're going to put clothes on this one. But it was mad funny. Speaking of him, we just put up, because yesterday was my birthday, so we just put up our variant for the year anniversary. Thank you. The year anniversary for the listener was yesterday. So we added the Steph Wilson October variant that you'll only be able to get from the Kickstarter. I think there's only like 20 left of those. And then if you don't get it there, you'll have to get them as artist proofs from him. But very, very cool cover. He did like an old school like gas station calendar piece. Really, really fun. But he and I have got a lot in store for you guys coming up, and you'll get more info on that in November. Super stoked about that. And like I was just telling you guys a second ago, if you ordered BGD, they're going to go, except for the medals, to be fair, except for the medals, everybody else will be getting their books next week, with if not the following week. So mad stoked about that.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. So let me play a couple more ads so we can start getting out of here. Liberty Entertainment Distribution. Speaking of indie comics, helping you get your indie comics in comic book stores all over. Here she is. Here's Belle to tell you all about it.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution. We've got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
Someday I'll hire an actual voice actress for Belle. Believe it or not, that was me. I have a program on my computer that lets me change voices, and that's my white girl. I'm also going to be using that voice when I call the police from now on. I'll be using it. I could not find, like, Lola doesn't have the right voice. She doesn't have the right is it falsetto? She doesn't have the right.
I'm sorry, I didn't grow up in the suburbs. I grew up in the hood, so I have a hood voice.
That's right. Except she has a hood voice
until I talk to the cops.
Yeah. Then there's a 23-year-old white woman sitting next to me. Hello, officer. How can I help you? What? Who? But no. So yeah, that was really cool to be able to do the Belle voice. We might need female voices done. I'm open. I'm bye, Sarah. Sarah. Also, one last ad for today.
Death Song.
CrimeCon this weekend. I will be at a show, but I think I'm scheduled to pop in there. Hopefully the internet holds out. But I'm staying at a very prestigious hotel. I'm staying in a deluxe room, guys. I can't wait. I've had bad luck with hotels recently. Not all of them, but listen. Here's the problem. I know I got like 4 minutes to waste here.
Oh, let me answer those questions real quick.
Okay.
Yes, hood voice is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
I can get really hood if I wanted to, but then my Italian accent comes out. So yes, it is a thing.
It's the weirdest thing. It's like it's like Italian by way of Compton. It's very weird. Yeah, it's. I've had some. We all travel to cons, and we all stay in hotels. Now we've all, because of that, we've become these kind of like unofficial hotel reps, and like critics. And I went to a show and got froze out of my bank account because they seen that I was out the state, and they were like, "Oh, well, we're gonna freeze your bank account at 7 o'clock when we're not here, so you're stuck with no money." So the money I made from the convention that day actually was the money that I used to get a hotel room. Well, the only thing near me was a Red Roof Plus near the convention center. We were in Columbus, Ohio, or was it Cleveland? I believe it was in Columbus, Ohio, but it was Red Roof Plus, and it definitely was in Ohio. I know that. And I had a great time. The room was clean. The hotel was nice. There wasn't a problem. Now, my dumb ass decided, oh, well, if that Red Roof is a decent hotel, well, I sound like a cheap version of Antonio Banderas. I'm gonna make was it unlicensed Desperado comic and have Marv do the voice. They tried to kill me, but they cannot kill me. I am the Desperado. But no, there's anyway, I went to a regular Red Roof and I left within a day because the place had bed bugs. And I'm like, look, I've never had bed bugs in my life. I remember seeing a video of them once at school. No, I'm straight. I don't want to be here. I'm leaving. So I'm like, okay, maybe that was just one Red Roof. That was just one. That can't be all of them, right? Because I've stayed at a Red Roof, but it was Red Roof Plus. So if you must stay at a Red Roof hotel, stay at a Red Roof Plus if you have to. Otherwise, keep it to Marriott, to Hyatt, places of some type of some type of value.
Yeah, because the second Red Roof is that tried to stay in.
Yeah.
Had bed bugs and roaches.
Yeah. Yeah, and we got the hell out of there. We're like, nope. No. And I mean, look, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't be around critters. Ugh. Just the thought of it. Ugh. Sorry. Sending shivers down my spine. We're gonna let you guys get out of here. But first, before you do that, you need to tell our audience where they can find you. Ted, how about you, sir? You're muted.
Okay, Kickstarter, type in Bloom and it should come right up. But herotomorrow.com is our website if you want to get caught up on any of the back stuff. All the back issues are also available in the current Kickstarter campaign as add-ons, and we're shipping in December. This is a really quick turnaround. So thanks for having me on, and I've backed everybody who's been on this show with me today, and looking forward to everybody.
You got to check out my book. It's awesome.
Your Lola's book is an adult book, and
I need $48 more, and I'll be funded, guys.
Where's your campaign?
Where's your link?
I put it in the chat.
It's on Indiegogo, isn't it?
No, I was successful with my Indiegogo. I'm doing a second chance on Kickstarter right now.
Right on.
What's it called?
Lore.
Lure.
Here, I'll put it in the private chat for you guys.
Yeah, I don't let her. I try not to let her advertise it because she's a part of the show. But
it is the first book I wrote and created.
Yeah, here
and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'll play the video for you. How about that, Lola? That'll be nice.
It all started with an invite. Then you wake up in a cage. You would never expect what happens next. Who lives? Two times. Are you ready to get lured?
Now you got to play the female version.
Is the female version up here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
I'm in. I just backed it.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
The female version of it.
Have you ever wanted something so much you would do anything to get it?
Yeah, so bad, yes.
I do. I will go to any party, be with anyone, just to get noticed by Blair, the one who controls invites. I lust to get into lore.
You know, that same
Do
thing.
you?
Is that you too?
No, that was actually
Have
Heather
you
Allen.
ever
correct?
wanted
Oh, it's Heather Allen.
Twisted Fairy.
Yeah. There are so many different people that helped her with this campaign. I forget all the names, but yeah, there's also me trying to figure out when she said like, there's, you ever wanted something really bad, you do anything to get it. I'm like, yeah, PS5.
I'm almost there now. That's right, Mario.
Yes, 632. There's your. Yeah, she's almost there.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to get there too.
She's Yeah, it was like I know what it's like to want something so bad you do anything to get it. Was the PS5. I drove 4 hours to get mine. 4 whole damn hours. It was horrible.
Yeah, I'm the one that found it. I was committed. You gave up.
Look, there's a point. I'm a man. There's a point where you're just chasing something that's not gonna happen. You're like, screw this. I'm out. I don't want any parts of this.
So yeah, Lore is an 80-page graphic novel that I wrote and created.
Mm.
And it has meaning to me. It was very therapeutic.
Right on. Let me get my pledge in there too then.
Yeah, she's gonna ship it this December. So
I know.
Yeah. It might be a little bit before December. Some people might receive this in December, but it's gonna be
I'm sorry, I got to jump on a phone call.
Yeah,
but,
no problem.
Thank you guys very much for having me. Great learning about your projects, David and Dustin.
For sure.
And,
yeah, just backed Bloom. I'm really excited about it as well.
Thank you.
Of
Appreciate
course, man.
that.
Of course.
All right.
All right, Ted. We'll make sure your campaign link is in the chat too, and in the description of the video.
Appreciate that.
Take care,
Bye, everybody.
Hey guys, I'll let you get out of here too. David, where can people find you at, sir?
They can find me on Kickstarter, Conquered Crowns, type it in, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Limelight Comics. I'm on Twitter as well, but not very active. Other than that, you can go to limelightcomics.com.
Okay, all right. And Dustin, how can people find you, sir?
Oh man, just Dustin Brunell, the Linktree thing, and you'll get all my cool stuff because I'm religiously on Facebook and I answer people all the time on there because I only really use it for work. So I'm constantly on there. If you guys need to get a hold of me about any of my IPs, I'm happy to talk about any of them. I'm also happy to talk about any of my friends' IPs if anybody asks. So if anybody's got questions and you can't reach people on my friends list, by all means, holler at me and I'll take care of you.
Okay. From the desk of a small press publisher, says looking forward to Saturday's show. We talk more about lore. That's right.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Just got my back in for lore, and now I got one more to do, which is that awesome book.
Thank you, Mike. Mike posted the link to the Bloom campaign, which I'm going to make sure is in the YouTube description of the video as well. I'll be adding it right after the show. And then Marv, news from Randy. Randy is he's getting better all the time. He's awesome. He is on a ventilator, but he's they're continuing the antibiotics and the steroids to get him back in shape. He is, sedated, but all signs point to him making a full recovery at this point. So we're still praying, still asking for prayers, still asking for everyone to send a lot of good thoughts his way, and so we can get Randy back home where he back in front of that drawing board.
And so he can come on the shows and bitch about his experience.
Oh yeah. Special 5-hour Randy Zimmerman. show where he's going to get on his soapbox and let us have it.
Oh yeah, because his bed sores are getting bed sores.
That's what he told me last when I spoke to him. That was a couple Saturdays ago. He had only been there like 24 hours. My bed sores have bed sores. I'm like, there he is. He's fine. But then he did. His levels dropped, and his levels dropped while I was at a con. No, after I got home from the con, his levels dropped on Monday. That's when they sedated him, put him on the ventilator, and that was on the 18th of October. And he hasn't been able to communicate with anybody since. So we are sending a lot of positive thoughts toward Randy Zimmerman. Get well soon, buddy. With that said, Lola, where can people find you?
Guys, I am everywhere. So if you want to track me down, go to Linktree, indie_princess, and all my links are there. And yeah, check out Lore. There's 15 days left. It will go down to 14 in a couple hours. So check it out, guys.
And then, of course, you can find me, KYB_V.
You're muted.
Oh, am I muted? Yeah, you can find me, KYD_V on Twitter, Varian Grand on Facebook. Check out indievolt.com for the latest in indie comic news and reviews. I'm getting ready to do some reviews up there, hopefully today and very late tonight. And then also, guys, make sure that you check out ledg.us, Independent Comic Book Distribution, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group. We have a couple cool things. There's no fees, so we don't take anything from the creators. Like you don't cut. We don't get into your money. We don't take any money from you. You set your own pricing. If you're a store owner, we actually buy the books back from you if you can't sell them. So we don't want a book sitting on your shelf if you can't move it. So we'll with Liberty Pledge, we'll buy those books back from you, or trade you for books that you can get to sell. I don't believe there's any books that won't sell. They won't sell in that store. Different stores have different client bases. So check out ledg.us. That's Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group, and give us a call. Anyway, guys, thanks for being on. I appreciate it. We're going to get out of here. I will take us out the way I brought us in. And don't go anywhere, guys. Hang out afterwards. Don't cut out. I'm going to take us off the air, though. Give me a hot minute here. Here we go.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
How can you close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of